The price of XRP is about to go through the roof. You will miss out on a chance to make a lot of money if you don't have at least 100 XRP by the time this huge event happens. There is a chance for you to become very wealthy by keeping just 100 XRP. In fact, it's starting to take place already. As you can see, the amount of XRP being traded has started to rise sharply, hitting over 33 million USD in just 60 seconds. You need to know that the growth of the XRP system is happening at an institutional level. In the past, like in 2023, more than 4,000 US banks were in talks to work with Ripple and use XRP to make payments easier. That number has at least 10 times grown. There are now between 20 and 30,000 banks around the world that want to help people make payments using the XRP system and XRP itself. This is true for all central banks around the world. There are reports that more than 90 central banks have bought more than $10 billion worth of XRP in just the last year. In other words, both institutions and the world's central banks are moving toward using XRP in the XRP system, which definitely has a huge effect on XRP and could send it through the roof to over $8,000. Each XRP will be worth $8,257.20 if it is proven by October 31st. Once more, you need to ask yourself why. And it all comes down to the fact that the XRP ledger is actually eating up the huge banking business. Yes, Brad Carlinghast, CEO of Ripple, spoke at a big banking conference. He was the most interesting person there, even though he was sat next to BlackRock and JP Morgan. The man talked about the XRP system and how XRP is going to change the way payments are made and how it will replace the infrastructure of banks. Now that's a big deal because once more, you'd be surprised with companies like BlackRock and JP Morgan. However, if you read the stories and get more information, you'll find that both BlackRock and JP Morgan have been quietly gathering XRP. A story also said that BlackRock and JP Morgan both had XRP funds. In other words, they've been quietly buying XRP over and over again using a method called dollar cost averaging. Listen to this. My name is Brad Carlinghast. I run Ripple as its CEO. About 900 people work for Ripple in our 15 offices around the world. We started out more than 10 years ago with the goal of making the internet of value possible, a world where money moves like information does now. We make software that makes cross-border payments, steady coins, and digital storage possible. Ripple makes it easier for banks to do business, save time and money, and provide better service to their users. These aren't just vague ideas. Every day, we work with banks that depend on our technology to make the world economy work better. To make payments easier, Ripple uses the XRP ledger, an independent open source blockchain that has been through a lot of hard times, and its own digital currency, XRP. XRP is designed to make transfers quick, cheap, and very scalable. Right from the start, Ripple chose to work with regulators and politicians instead of against them. We put compliance first and have over 60 licenses for payment services, crypto, and money transfers in the US and around the world. Think about that. The opening of businesses worth many trillions of dollars at the same time. It has to do with real estate, payments, insurance, finance, and anything else that involves money and deals. Ripple Labs is working with other companies to get that money added to the XRP system. A lot of that money is going to come on. Most likely, a big part of it will come in the next 2 weeks. You guys need to see this next part because it's very important. The next big unlock for trillions of dollars is about to start in just a few weeks, which will cause the price of XRP to skyrocket. Guys, before we even get to that, we teamed up with a very reasonable person who is watching this video. Get some free money. You will, in fact, get up to $100 in free cash to buy XRP before the big breakup. Get some free XRP if you want to make some free cash. All you have to do is like, share, and subscribe. After that, use the link in the description to sign up for Apple and make a purchase. It only takes 5 minutes to do everything. You guys need to do it. Make sure you like and write again, sign up, and do a transaction that takes less than 5 minutes. Then you'll get your free XRP. Let's go. So pretty much everything we've talked about so far has been proven. In fact, David Schwartz, Ripple's CTO, has made this point clear. It's been stressed by Brad Carlinghast. The XRP ledger is being used by banks and other businesses. It's been said that more than 100 banks are now using Ripple and XRP to send money across borders. These transactions happen every day and have been proven. Bank of America also said that all internal transfers are now running on XRP, which is yet another huge deal. Now is the time to get back on track. The price and the date are the two most important things. Some experts have said that the price of XRP could reach $8,257.20 since August 31st. You need to ask yourself, why is that the case? And it's all about these numbers. Institutions are building on the XRP system, which will bring in $654 trillion from the real estate market. This will cause an XRP supply shock. This place is now called RealFi. In reality, RealFi is adding billions of dollars to the XRP system. They just put out more than 10,000 homes worth more than $2 billion. I mean, these guys are huge, and their goal is to use XRP and the XRP ledger to open all $654 trillion. This is a big deal because RealFi just stated that they've moved into phase 2. This means that they will focus on getting more people to use and integrate the RealFi ecosystem on a large scale. What are the two main parts of the RealFi ecosystem? They are the RealFi technology and the Real token, which uses the XRP currency. You see, Real token is based on the XRPL. It's this ticket, the Real token, to be exact. But it gets even better. On the XRP ledger, they have very strong support and very low resistance. The chart looks like it's ready for a big rise, which is also bullish. GITEX Global 2025 is the biggest event in the world for tech, fintech, blockchain, and AI. RealFi just got back from going there. They also said that they were excited to show off their new technology, which will change the real estate market and the way standard DeFi rewards are given. We're excited to come back tomorrow to talk with people and share more about the RealFi community. Guys, this is good news. It looks good for the bulls. I mean, look at this. The Real token name and the XRP ledger are right here. That's a big deal. It's clear that I think Real token will go up in value. I even bought myself a nice tasty bag because the Real token is going to make that huge amount of money possible, maybe even trillions of dollars. We can see it happening. I mean, there are only a very small number of Real tokens available. I think 100 million or 122 million in phase 2. This is once more a big deal because it means there aren't enough Real tokens to go around. There will be a huge supply shock though, because there will be so much demand. You need to now understand what's going on. When it first came out about 2 or 3 months ago, the Real token was worth 1/100 of a penny. It's now almost 4 cents, which is a gain of hundreds of thousands of percentage points. Now it's still traded on a single centralized exchange. There isn't a big business plan.